just be like, boom, swallow it. A little bit of water if you need it. If not, you're good. And
I washed down all my medication with coffee.
Oh, we were talking about medication?
Oh, man, yeah.
I was in a totally different spot there. Wow. When does the show start?
I think it's on right. Guys, are we live right now? Yeah, he gave me the thanks. The universal signal for yes or positive to any questions. Very good, guys.
We should.
These guys are doing amazing.
I've always said
what's going to happen when we pay them.
Right. Yeah, we should always record that stuff we talk about before we go on anyway. It seems like some of that stuff's a little bit more interesting sometimes than the show itself. Sometimes. Not usually. No, because, I mean, come on. I mean, the audience is here and they add their incredible input, which makes this show so much better.
We're not doing a hell of a lot to keep it rolling many of the times.
No. We need you.
What do we have here? Hey, guys, who's here? Who's hanging out with us right now? We've got a few people on the Built Different group right now. A couple people signing in from the Casually Serious Facebook page. We've got one on the Casually Serious, two on the Casually Serious YouTube page.
Come on in, man. Plenty of room for everybody. Feel free to comment. I mean, once we say something of any substance or worth commenting.
Are we done? Are we all done talking about Will Smith? Is that over?
I mean, do we need to say anything else? Did we really care in the first place? I mean, it was interesting and because of what happened, but who cares?
Yeah, I guess it is. We're just going to move on because today, ladies and gentlemen, we've got burning hot mics. For those of you out there, whoever's disappointed thinking that this was going to be a sexy Irish photo shoot and you didn't understand it was not hot mix, I apologize, but it is in fact only hot mics. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. We got a few things up our sleeves, but I guess we've got to pay for we paid for the intro. So. And just like that, Ash Brown appears.
Wow. God. Man.
I'm here.
Frightening.
What's
going on,
Tuesday, man? How you doing, Bobby boy?
Dude, doing Tuesday. Good, man. How you doing, man?
I'm doing better than others.
Oh, we got some chimes. We got some chiming in happening right now. Dirty Dave Hill says, hola, which I know I'm from Miami. That means there's a ho in Los Angeles somewhere that he knows, right? That's what that means?
A ho in L.A.
Production? No?
No.
How you doing, Dave?
Aloha.
Dave, always good to see you chiming in. Great to see you coming and hanging out lately, man. It's great. It's great to see you guys. Congratulations on your new home purchase, by the way. Our friend Dirty Dave out there just purchased a home with his lovely lady of many millennia. So congratulations out there. We were just talking about how insane this market is. So awesome.
Yes.
Good for you. Glad you found some four walls and a great place to spend the rest of your life paying property taxes. So congratulations on that. Andrew Leva.
How you doing,
What's
Andrew?
good? Out of San Bernardino, California. How you doing?
Hey.
Uh-oh, Brandy Campbell.
Brandy
Campbell.
Campbell.
Brandy, how you doing?
The 305 transplant. For some reason, I always assumed that I knew Brandy my whole life, but she came to South Florida a little bit later on in life, man. But she fit right in with all of us, man. So
the crazies that we are,
dude. Well, hello, Tammy.
Tammy's in the house. Yeah, I like that little.
Chick.
It's a cute little. It's like a little it's like a baby.
It's I love you.
It's like a
I
baby
love you in
hand.
sign language. It's I love you in sign language.
Mateo Garza. Let's talk about
stubby
the
fingers.
We might have time to get to that. We might have time.
Why? I'm a Dolphin fan. I got no picks in the first 2 rounds. What do I have to say?
Kaylee, I don't. I wish we had phonetics up here because I don't want to screw up anybody's. But regardless, hello from Colorado yourself. I'm out here in Denver. That dude's in Florida. That dude's in Florida as well. But I'm out here in Denver, Colorado. So good to see you.
Don't forget the burner phone.
Don't forget the burner phone. Of course, that's a great song, my friend. Damn. Don't forget the burner phone, ladies and gentlemen. The Casually Serious Podcast burner phone line, 786-566-1736. Tell us whatever you want.
Literally. Whatever you want. I mean, we hear some really weird messages on there.
Pretty pleased with sugar on top.
Very
strange. A lot of times they're troubling. They
are.
That's what we want. We want everybody calling in. Excuse me. When everyone's saying a lot of weird shit.
It's troubling times.
Yeah, troubling times, 100%. And
You know?
anybody out there who doesn't understand that, you're on some really good drugs. Congratulations. Either that or you're living in Florida. I don't know. Is that it? Could that be
the safe haven? This is a safe haven.
Is it though? Is it a safe haven?
I don't know.
Let me hold on. So here,
it doesn't freeze.
real quick.
It doesn't freeze.
I'm going to go on. That's true. That's true. Well, sometimes it does. There's a citrus issue sometimes. Orange juice people freak out every once in a while.
North Florida.
But I have never, and I was born in 1973 in Miami, Florida. I've never heard the term that you just used to describe Florida ever. So congratulations on that one.
What's that? Cold?
Below the freeze
Frozen?
line?
Below freeze line? Freezing?
No. The term you used to describe that. Come on.
The safe haven?
Oh, safe haven. Oh, yes. There you go. That is true. No, this is definitely not a safe haven state. Come on.
Never in my Martha Fokker life have I ever heard it being called a safe haven.
Come on.
But hey,
come here to hide and die. What are you talking about?
It takes a dude in real estate in order to try and throw that one past us real quick. Good job.
Come on down. I'd be happy to show you around.
Chamber of
Commerce. We're talking.
Got mountains in the background there.
Don't worry about it. Hey, I love Colorado too, man.
Is it? I've heard rumors, and I've been out of Florida. I've been away from Florida. I've been away from Florida for as long as I lived in Florida. So I've been hearing that you can't say the word gay in Florida anymore. Is that what happened?
Look how popular we are. We're all around the country all of a sudden.
You know what? We love to keep ourselves in the hot topics.
Is that what it is?
Florida man does it again.
So the Florida man's like, you know what? We're gonna kick this hot mics into gear right now. These guys. There's no way they have content. We're going to give them content. We're going to tell everybody that saying the word gay or acting gay or talking about gay will get you fucking thrown in jail. Or what's the deal out there? What the fuck's going on with that?
Well, actually, our state decided that it was a good idea to just throw a little bit of an extra law in there to make sure that parents felt like they had full control of what was going on in the classrooms and not allowing their children kindergarten through third grade, man. Right, to be able to
what's wrong with that?
Okay, well, here's what's wrong with that.
Hold on, don't go further.
Don't finish. No. All right,
Go further. So no. Can I finish?
Sure.
Okay, I'm finished. No, go ahead.
So the K through 3 group is now supposed to not have any references to anything within the LGBTQ community at all. So what we're supposed to do here is if anybody is either and I understand kindergarten through third grade, where those feelings are at. We're all kind of grown up on our own there, but this to me actually acts more for children who come from families of LGBTQ, kids that are being brought up already to be able to say that this is acceptable, that this is okay. And then all of a sudden there's these laws that are not allowing school to be a safe space. There's already a law in place in Florida that does not allow sex education to be taught up until 5th grade. So there's already a law that kind of handles this. But what this law does, it goes a step further because it adds litigation. It allows the ability for the parent to actually sue the school board. Now, that's the part that really gets me, because all you're doing is trying to give some parents some idea that their kid came home and found out that one of their classmates has 2 moms, and the teacher might have said something about it. Now, you've just put that teacher and that school board in harm's way for litigation to allow somebody to come in and now sue the school board because they've taught their kid too much. They didn't want their kid to learn all that already. The same crap's going to happen when you go to a supermarket and you see 2 women holding hands. But now in school, this is no good. Please, Victor, tell me why this is a good law.
So hold on real quick. This is a law that's strictly for, you said kindergarten through 3rd grade, and that's it?
Right. It's just, it speaks to other grades beyond that things have to be age appropriate. It's extremely vague. Super vague. Really, it's just a mean law. It's just a law to just try to even put to make people that are already feeling isolated even more isolated, and now making them even feel shame to a point of like, wow, now there's actually a law that says nobody can talk about this. I'm sorry. Say your piece, Vic. I apologize.
Okay. No, it's all right. All right. So my opinion, here we go, is between kindergarten and third grade, there's no curriculum that's been projected. When do we even talk about sex education? Look, I grew up, I'm a native Floridian. All right. We didn't talk about it until we were in 5th grade. We had sex ed.
That's the law. Because that's the law. That's a law.
That's when people start
actual law.
Okay, well, good. Because that's when kids are realizing that they have those parts and those parts are doing stuff. Okay.
Oh, I knew before that, for the record.
Okay, well, that's yours. Nice. Congratulations. You're always been advanced. I can look at you with your advanced short bus driving.
I saw it way before 5th grade. I noticed it.
You noticed it? Well, that's good.
You're a big boy, huh?
Big boy. So anyway, I just don't feel that they need to even bring sexual orientation or anything into the classroom that way. It's like the kids don't even think about it that way.
But teachers should be, but school boards should be able to be sued now. Well, why is it brought up? What if somebody's talking about their parents? What do the kids tell me? They did not say. Students talk about their parents. So what about you're talking about your parents, and your parents you have 2 moms. Now John, who goes home and tells his parents about, oh, my friend Stacy has 2 moms.
That's not what they're worried about. They're talking about the curriculum. They're talking about the curriculum.
There's no curriculum written for this stuff already. That doesn't happen.
All right.
So what are you making a law for something that already doesn't happen?
Don't you? All right. Well, you think about it like this. Maybe somebody up there in Tallahassee, Mr. Red Hat, all right, is making a rule that's that's redundant, just to make some people happy, so they can vote his way again.
You just said it there.
Yeah,
right,
well, there you go.
There
but
because the point this is the political wedge issue. That's all it is. It's a wedge issue.
It's just something.
The LGBT Hash Brown has the floor. Hash Brown has the floor.
LGBTQ is just trying to they're bored. They just want to be everywhere. They want to be constantly bothering everyone. They have to be like, hey, look at us. We're over here doing this shit, bothering everybody. It's a redundant rule. It's a redundant law that's not being affected by anyone. It's just their problem up there, and they're just trying to make sure that they get elected again. That's all it is. And then
let me ask you this: Are you okay with the law? Are you okay with the law that was put in place?
I don't have a problem with it. I have no problem with it. I don't want my kids to hear any type of curriculum about
it's not curriculum. This is not about curriculum. You did not read this right.
Yeah, classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through 3rd grade in any manner. Does not say anything about the teacher or the kids talking about the parents. The parents could be anything they want to be. And they could be, and the kid could bring it up. Little Johnny could come in and go, hey, my aunts, my mom Sue and my mom Ellen are over here, and they made some great cookies, and no one's gonna get mad. What? No one gives a shit.
What? That's exactly what this is, Victor. This is.
What are you talking about?
Brown. This is exactly what this is because what they're
keep on calling me what you want, Ken. Man.
What they are doing here is they are going beyond a law that already exists. Okay, that already exists. No one's coming in with a curriculum. No teacher is writing out a curriculum about how they're going to talk about
sure of it.
Moms. No, this is not making sure of it because the freaking law is already there and it's not happening. What's happening is what you just said secondarily, that there's conversations amongst kids and maybe kids to teachers, and some of these are LGBTQ children that are feeling their way out through this. And listen, it's my turn now, and they're feeling the shame. They're already feeling isolated. If it is feelings they're having themselves as they're trying to figure this out at that age, or if they're coming from a family that has LGBTQ family members in it, a brother, a sister, moms, whatever it is, there's going to be conversation about those things. That's going to happen in a classroom.
That's okay.
You're saying it's okay, but they're saying it's not. Because now if the teacher in any way speaks on that topic with their students, which they're supposed to do. Listen, teachers have their own amended First Amendment rights as it is, because they can't just say anything in front of a classroom. They have their code of conduct from their school board. They have their curriculum from their school. They're already kind of told what they need to do, but there's a social aspect to being a teacher as well. And they still need to deal with these students on a social level. And if you don't allow those conversations to happen, or if you put them aside and make these kids feel shame, then that's where you're going to have major problems. problems. And it already happens now without a law like this, because these kids get bullied over these things. Your suicide rate is 3 times the rate of a regular a heterosexual child. They're already dealing with all of these problems. And your concern is that LGBTQ is all over the place. Look, they need to at least be where their kids can be safe. Why can't at least a student feel comfortable being able to talk about these things? Just because it's not the way you and I maybe grew up, you can't understand it. And we don't have representation on this show right now of anybody that truly can do that. But I think we should at least be able to look at the core of who we are and understand that if somebody is subjected to that, or not subjected, I'm sorry, but if somebody's going through that and they're feeling that type of shame, that we should not allow that to happen. And that should not happen in schools. And there's no reason to make a rule or a law about this so that these kids feel it even worse.
There's no teacher.
Hold on, real quick, House Brown.
All right, go ahead.
I'm just saying we've obviously struck, we'll call it with the East Coast is we've struck a knife. So we're 16 minutes in. We got 15 minutes left. Let's at least find a little structure in this right now. I want to go ahead and just give you guys at least 2 minutes each to roll with it, and we're gonna fucking time it to keep it rolling. All right.
Well, don't give me 2 minutes now. You just had 7 minutes, bro. What the fuck? Don't do that shit to me.
You're doing it right now. 2 minutes. You're on the clock. I want you to answer back.
No, I can answer back 8 minutes with fucking 6. All right, with 2. All right, here we go. So half the shit. You're giving me a time limit. That's
no time.
Take your time. Take your time.
I'm taking more.
Take your time. I'm looking for structure. I'm not going to buzz you out of 2 minutes.
There's nothing sexual about a kid in kindergarten through 3rd grade. Okay.
Agreed.
There's nothing sexual, and right now, they don't even understand. At those grades, they don't even understand the shit. Okay, and they are going to school. You don't. Little Johnny's not screaming out, "Hey, my mom's." He's not crying. He's not screaming it out. Nobody even probably brings it up. So, and if they did, the teacher's like not a freaking no psychiatrist. She's a teacher, okay? So let her say, "Hey, ask little Johnny. He could talk to you better about it than me," and that's it. There's no reason that should even be a part of the conversation when they're trying to teach what the math and the reading and all the other stuff. All right, we're not trying to get distracted right now. We're in school, right? In 5th grade, they'll find that out. Okay, they don't need to talk about it then. So that's my argument on that.
That's like Pink Floyd, right? In that video where everybody's right, everyone's the same, and everybody has to sit in their seats perfectly, and everyone's dressed identically, and you just kind of go through the machine, right? That's what we're waiting to get ourselves to. Everyone's just going to be told how they're going to be and how they're going to act. That's the world y'all are looking for with this, because I don't understand why you don't see. There's no problem with people that have to grow up different than us, man. There's no reason to be afraid. Your children are not being indoctrinated. They're not going to be turned into any of this group of people that you think that they're going to be turned into by being exposed to the realities of life while they are in school. And if you want to continue to shield them while they're in school, then I suggest you do the same thing when you take them everywhere outside of school. Do it in the supermarkets. Do it when you go to the beach. Don't let them see any of that.
If you look at what the curriculum's doing, is actually putting they're taking the him and her out of the names of the parents, and they're putting them and family, and they're actually doing what the LGBTQ wants them to do, and people are still bitching about it. So what the fuck? Oh, we wanted. They just don't want the teacher to go. All right, now here, let's explain that Mary and Jane are down with it, and they're scissor fucking, and homie and Jim Bob and Skittles are blowing each other. All right, we don't need to hear about this shit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to happen in the classroom, bro. That's it. That's what I'm saying. So what the fuck?
Oh man, well, that's a lot to unpack right there.
You have the floor, sir. You have the floor, sir. Oh, you're precious. Look at you down there with this rainbow behind for the people that are on Spotify.
So I think, all right, I'm just going to go back to this fear of indoctrination, because that's exactly what you just expressed perfectly. And you did it in context that even went out of what we're talking about within school, and talking about what's happening sexually with people in bedrooms, after we already talked about we weren't going to say those things. So you just proved it. People are afraid of what's going to happen. Oh God, it's hard for me. I'm just you know, you got me with Jim Bob and Skittles again. God damn.
Hey, Skittles is from Atlanta, by the way.
They're
Skittles
afraid.
is from Atlanta.
You're afraid of something that you shouldn't be afraid of. You're afraid of something that's not going to happen. It's like this invisible boogeyman that's now been created, and all of a sudden you got to do everything you can to fight it. So when some silly bill comes along like this, that makes no sense at all, and it's all political hubbub. It's a political wedge issue. That's all it is. It's being put there so that they can talk about it when it comes 2022. And this side said this, and this side said that. It's a bunch of BS. But at the end of the day, it's a mean law. It's a mean law because it ends up just hurting. But it is mean because it hurts the students that are actually affected by this. And that's the part that everyone else is not thinking about. It's just immediately feeling like, oh, as parents, we want to know that we have the right to be in charge of what's happening in the classroom. Well, you know what? Come to PTA meetings. Be a part of what's actually going on at your school if you really, truly want to be a part of it, because I don't buy that shit for a second. They just want an opportunity to be able to sue a school because they don't believe in what's being said in the classroom outside of the curriculum, Victor, because I mean, God damn it with your hash brown, outside of the curriculum, because the curriculum is not the issue here. Nobody is arguing that there is some sort of LGBTQ agenda within the curriculum, and none of that is being affected by this law either. None of that, because these laws have been in effect
to take
for
the him and her
decades.
Out. And that's okay, man. And that's I don't care about that. We're helping the LGBTQ with that because now you're not isolating their families. Right. So it's a good rule on that. Okay. And the rest of it's redundant. And I don't. So and the wedge is up your ass. That's my opinion.
Seems to be up yours, but you're the one a little bit more. You're a little bit more weary of that, though. It sounds.
I ain't worried about any of it.
Yeah, You had Jim Bob and Skittles.
All right, so real quick,
nights, I know you had them over at your house one night. I remember, man. I remember that. I was wondering what that squealing sound was coming from
that was
room.
From that.
I thought you had the dog up there, but you got both.
All right. So here's the deal. What I gather from, and I'm pretty good at listening to two people yell over each other. Pretty good at snuffing stuff out. I think what I've gathered from what both of you have said together.
Okay.
Both of you have thrown in the blender. I have juiced out that for some reason, which is something that always pisses me off, something that some issue, some subject, which is what we're talking about, a subject meaning someone who has gay parents talking about homosexuality, whatever the fucking case may be, K through 3. For some reason that should come up, for some reason we are now deciding to attach a law to the solution of that, as opposed to keeping it within the family and the school, which is where the fuck it should have been to begin with. These are the things I have an issue with. Now, I don't even get as far as the law when it comes to this. This is like something that like we could have gathered a PTA meeting and talked about this and had a conversation about it without having to give someone fucking power to sue someone over this. Not to mention the inability for you to speak about something is already putting somebody in a step behind. You're already telling somebody at a very small age with this law, at a very young age with this law, that you can't talk about this. This is something you should not talk about, regardless of how old they are, regardless of what age or whatever grade they're in. You're basically saying, shh, be quiet about that. And that's something I have a problem with. I have a problem with censorship on most levels.
Have you met all the teachers in public schools?
All of them,
like everyone.
Let me tell you, they're probably not. They don't want to. I'm telling you, they probably don't even want to have that conversation with their students. Okay, I don't think they're through K through 3. Those teachers don't want to have that conversation in a group setting and have little Johnny have to be the one that has to explain it all to everybody else.
No, you're getting it wrong when you say that. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying
that. That's what you're saying. That's what you're trying to do. You want them to freaking celebrate it.
No.
What are we doing?
You keep getting into the celebration thing. I know you have a big problem with the whole, sissification of America kind of thing. I get that. I see that with you, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that we have to subject children to this. That's not right. That's why this law is so wrong, because it really does directly affect the children more than anyone else. They're trying to give parents some kind of rights. That's what they're trying to call this. That's the outside part of this thing, just so they can go and sue school boards that already don't have any money. So this really, all it's doing, it's litigation and political wedge. That's what this is. That's all it is.
It's a bit much, I think, to involve the courts in any of this. I don't think a lawsuit should have anything to do with this subject whatsoever.
At all. And I also agree in the sense that I don't believe that any of those teachers should be giving those kinds of curriculum out. And they're not. That's the part that is, I think, the false narrative here is they don't realize there's already a law in effect in the state. And most states actually have that same law that sex ed's not taught until fifth grade.
Think
so.
Yeah, and you know what? And then there's a lot of states that are actually looking into what Florida's doing. And
because they're just as mean.
We give our teachers a lot of power.
They're just as mean. They like to stick it anytime they can stick it, man. That's what they look for.
We give teachers the ability to give our children a lot of other worldly advice while they're teaching our kids.
Right.
That's how that goes. They're not just fucking science, math. There's a lot of stuff. They have to think out of a bubble in some way.
Absolutely.
If the conversation comes up, they should be able to pull it back and say, Jimmy, Tommy, Skittles, whatever the fuck your name is, it doesn't matter. We don't need it. How about we talk about this after school where we can have a conversation about this. Something like that, maybe. Or if there's something that they're crying about, talk about it on the spot. Either way, no matter what they're talking about.
Here's the other side of this as well, is that they're also making this so that everything has to be outed to the parent as well. So if a student, let's say, goes to a counselor and kind of says, hey, I'm feeling like this, but that's not popular at home, it's going to have to now be brought home at the same time. That, I don't know, I'm mixed with, because I feel like in the right situation, that's okay. But maybe in a bad situation, not so much. So
let me tell you, if the school you want to talk about socialism, you're trying to make the school make decisions for the family there. All right, no. The family
not making a decision for the family. That's a decision for the child.
Can I finish? It's
for the child.
All right, can I finish? It's a decision that the school's making for the kid. They're making the decision for the kid to tell the parents, but the parents need to know that. The parents need to know that. Yeah, yes, they do. They do need to know.
It's kind of up to the child.
Well, if the child's telling somebody, okay,
and maybe they're afraid to tell their parents.
Well, maybe then they did their job, and they're gonna give it to the parents, hopefully smoothly. Okay, and that's it.
Smoothly.
All right. Yeah, they got. Hey, guess what? Your friend, your son here, little Tommy here, he's has a couple, he's got some good, interesting questions that you need to answer. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, damn, no, and I said that I wasn't overly against that one per se,
right.
But I did say that there could be situations where, but at least if the kids know it now too, they're gonna like, oh, don't go to them, they're narcs.
If the teacher knows,
they're gonna have to go somewhere else, man, if they don't want the parents to know, because they know that now school counselors are narcs. So I guess that's how that works. Man.
Hey, you know what?
No, the second and third graders are all about that, knowing the insides.
Well, you know what? We're already at the end of the show.
Well, that was fun, man. Let's see. I told you this would be a fun topic.
I want to thank both of you for giving all of us the opportunity to open up and say gay to Florida and let everybody know exactly what the deal is. I have a lot of issues with all of that rule. First and foremost, taking power away from parents and schools and putting it in the courtroom. I just think that's asinine, let alone what the message is that is being sent. But regardless, Florida's done a lot of things since I've been born, and
it continues to.
They're not shocking me.
We're not done.
I'm not shitting on my friends and family from the old FLA, man. I love you all to death. You guys are my family. Got a spot in my heart for you guys always.
Go Heat.
But
all about you,
yeah,
baby.
that's a little effed up S right there. Jordana says, why shouldn't books about LGBTQ be read in K through T? Shouldn't all family type be represented? Kids should be able to relate to what they read. Totally. So that's kind of what I was saying at the beginning, and I don't know if it got misconstrued, but what it is you're already setting a pattern of close your eyes, close your mouth, which was something, it's just a massive step backwards in my eyes. Yep. Without being the one to get into what you guys are talking about factually. In my eyes, it just seems to be
going the wrong way.
A hand over a mouth, and that's always something that's pissed me off. historically. Irregardless,
Agreed.
and I say that to all my Italian brethren, irregardless.
Regardless.
Thank you
Well-
to all of you folks who came out and hung out with us tonight. We had a lot of folks actually on the Build Different group, a lot of the Casually Serious podcast friends on YouTube as well. Thank you so much. If you guys aren't on YouTube, go to YouTube, find the Casually Serious podcast, the Casually Serious podcast. That there are a couple other ones. There's nothing we can do about that until the legal department wakes up. Oh, so he wakes up when I say the legal department. Very nice. When the legal department gets on it, we'll be able to take care of business. Regardless, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We had some hot mics. They were sizzling. We were talking about a few things, but maybe we'll pick it up some other time. I don't know. That seems to be something that's ongoing. Florida is its own ongoing saga.
Yes. So stay tuned.
Come
We're
down
gonna
and
dig into
visit.
something.
We love everyone here.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if you're in Denver, go ahead and take off and go to Florida for a while if you could. Maybe a year or 2 or 5. That'd be
The
cool.
mountains are beautiful, though. Mountains are beautiful.
Yeah.
We got some beaches, though. We got beaches and bitches. I mean, beautiful places.
Okay, love you.